Hello, 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 and we'll continue today with the rest of the collection. So now it's really video 23, and we'll continue where we stopped last time with P. And this is the album that has, I think, Portugal. Not sure. No, I think it's the next one. So we'll start with Pakistan, and here we are going into what starts to be relatively easy to find Pakistan. Hard is to find the ones without stamp holes, which, to be honest, is a bit of a horrible thing that they do in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, especially in the past. These are actually pretty nice. I think the series, the latest few series, but of course there's a few outliers here and there. Pakistan, I almost have it complete if we take out, I think, the first or the second um, series. And from there we go into Papua. Papua kept the same kind of banknotes since the start. It all looks similar, but they do have differences. Some are polymer, and some are actually very hard to find because they were commemorative with some symbols here that have been then, like these. I'm not sure if these ones are the ones that are more expensive, but there's a few, especially in the hundreds. This is the kind of country that overall it's not that hard to find, and the banknotes are actually quite interesting, but they kept the same design all over. Then we go into Paraguay, some earlier Paraguay stuff. Then from then on goes into similar to the other South American countries, a bit of hyperinflation. Then there's a few banknotes here and there which are a bit more difficult to find, but overall quite an easy country to complete. These ones, the 100,000, have one or two editions that you can hardly find. I'm eyeing one on eBay, but it's almost uncirculated because I cannot find the uncirculated one. Yeah, and that's Paraguay, and then we go into Peru. Peru also, again, I was lucky, and it's similar to Paraguay in terms of values and all that stuff. But the early ones, I do have a few, also from a collection that I bought a few years ago. They go into this American banknote type. Then here in the 60s, in the 70s, not all like this one, it's not uncirculated. And then it go into this series here, a bit different. And then we go into hyperinflation also here. And you have these banknotes that are normally very easy and cheap to find, with, again, some exceptions depending on who is the printer or the producer of the banknotes. There are some that I'm still looking for. Here a revaluation from inties to sols and to all of that stuff. Like this one has an edition that is not easy to find. This one is already hard to find. And then we go into the last revaluation, the sols. And here it's also depending. They had there's a lot of picks here. I think 4 or 5 editions or series. The earlier ones have some, especially the higher amounts, the 50 and the 100, are hard to find. It's not that they would be expensive, it's just that you don't find them anywhere. And finally we go into the second to last series. Here's another case of these ones that are harder to find, and you'll see the rest that I have also engraded. From there we go into Philippines, and Philippines early banknotes are expensive, mostly because also the American collectors look for them, because the Philippines used to be a colony of the US. You have here occupation money from Japan. And then you're back into Philippines after the Second World War, so independence. Not pretty. They kept a bit of the American flavor until they got to the earlier series, and from here on, with one or two memorable exceptions, this is all relatively cheap and harmless, including some some commemorative banknotes, which it's basically the same banknote but overprinted. Like here, these ones you can also get like for €1. Like here, they I'm not sure why Philippines used and abused this stuff. They look like, yeah, it's just some weird overprint from institutions, banks, or there's one from Shell. And then we go all the way into the earlier stuff, which continues in next album. So I have a few more of these graded. And here I do have a few. I have Papua, commemorative 100. Some others from Papua that I just got recently. Not very fancy stuff. 5, 10, 2. So another 2. So ones that was missing. From Paraguay, also some stuff here. 1,050 that I was missing also. Okay, here maybe I just open it up from Peru. A few others that I was missing there, and I don't have space at the time to put them in. The new 10, the new 20, and you'll see the rest as graded. The 100, new 100. There you have the new 100 graded. I don't have the 200 yet, but I do have the 50. Then some more Philippines, and these are earlier ones but with different dates. And then also here, so also Paraguay 206, PMG 67, and 193 PMG 65. So the backs are just normal ones. This is a bit different. Then some Philippines. This is the 2000. This is also a commemorative one, a huge banknote, 2,000 pesos. And here also another commemorative one of also 1,000 pesos. Here at the back, I just have the certificate, and this one, it's, yeah. And finally, as I mentioned, the 50, the new 50 from Peru, also graded, and another 100 pick 181. Yep, and that's